Oh, you son of a bitch, OBS. Oh, okay, it's a good thing I was just bullshit. None of that was heard. None of that little intro story was heard, but that's okay. All bullshit. The only people that heard it were God damn it. OBS is a fucking nightmare. And it fucked up my latest recording thing, and we're gonna have words. Software people. Welcome to Scion Godsend. I'm not gonna be repeating instant karma. I'm not gonna be repeating my story. The people who needed to hear it heard it. I'm sorry. Welcome to Scion Godsend. I have no announcements, and I'm very eager to get into this. This is going to be our sort of mid-season finale, our break after this. So we're going to jump into it ASAP. Let's go ahead and meet our Scions.
Hey guys, I understood the assignment. I made sure my character was appropriately leveled and prepared for today's session.
Yeah, Gideon Danger has nothing to report. Patterns clear.
I must say that was a really heart-touching story. I'm so sad that none of them got to hear that amazing story. Too bad it is lost to the annals of history. You could possibly never say it like that ever again, I imagine. You all are so unfortunate.
Yeah, it was a pretty good story. You had love, pain, action, revenge, betrayal. It was like all AAA title, all packed in 2 minutes of speech that y'all didn't see or hear. Y'all saw it but didn't hear it. Yeah. So
I wish I could tell you what I witnessed. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful.
Sadly, OBS has eaten the audio, and it will never be seen by public eye. And I apologize for that. I'm very sorry for that. However, that's not to say that there's not a more epic story coming for you, and I look forward to watching that story unfold. So, without any further delay, let's go ahead and jump into today's episode of Scion Godsend. Mr. DeWitt, if you would kindly.
Yes. Last session, the party was wrapping up. My allies were doing their little get together. Then somebody went and got rid of all the alcohol in everybody's bloodstream, which was fortunate. They found me. I gave them a debriefing on the king, to which we needed to start moving. They were about 4 hours away. I was unable to teleport us due to, let's call it, performance anxiety. As such, my allies proceeded to split into two groups. My group, which contained me, MAJIN, and THALIS, drove the van, which took about 4 hours. And the second group, which contained Gideon, Charles, and THALIS, rode Gideon down to New York. Gideon, who had suppressed himself earlier, did not leave trenches this time and managed to get to the city in under an hour. This allowed for THALIS, Gideon, and Charles to do their mischief-making. I believe Gideon destroyed a bank and summoned the unwatched hordes of New York. THALIS proceeded to set himself up to take over the security guards at Carnegie Hall. And Charles interacted with an individual who apparently had dragon ties, who killed the second coming of Jake from State Farm. As such, Charles proceeded to beat the ever-living shit out of him. Me and MAJIN had arrived by that point. Me and THALIS proceeded to remove the body and had placed it outside next to the van for later disposal or funeral, or perhaps bringing him back, depending on how we're feeling after the fight. Charles beat the hell out of this dragon and got a summons from his dragon dad, while MAJIN proceeded to kill a security guard by accident, because of course security guards make mistakes, like tasing a guy with a gun in their hand while the gun is pointed at them. Then we were summoned by the king, or perhaps his body double, as everybody is fairly certain that man speaker's body double summoned us to the stage of Carnegie Hall. I, however, was not convinced, and I proceeded to let out a shot with the words, "Real actors do their own stunt,"
We did indeed end on a cliffhanger and a witty one-liner. Gotta love it. I am very excited. Let's with that recap being given, this is where we find our heroes now. First things first, as we want to just do some housekeeping real quick to remind you guys, for those of you guys that can see on the screen, we are at 5 collateral, 10 momentum, and 0 tension. For those of you guys who are not tracking. Gregor, let's have the
Yes.
roll for that shot, shall we?
All right. Let's see. Gentlemen, might I ask for some momentum, since we have so much to spend? Yes, Charles?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's good with me.
Plug it
All
in.
right.
Need.
As
Send
Yeah.
it.
Oh, sure.
Charles has his hand up. Is there something you...
Yes, Charles.
Oh, it's just that the last thing I did was prepared an attack against Manspeaker as well, seeing as I didn't care whether it was a body double or not. Forgoed that roll.
Excellent. By all means. You actually, yes, you had you step sideways and are behind him currently. So I shall make a
Mhm.
note. Please, by all means, make your attack.
Do you want to do 3 momentum each?
Sure.
Nice, nice.
I would also like to invoke my combat specialist path.
For what effect?
He's
To
wants the...
smack his brain to the outside of his head.
Understood. Just looking for the enhancement, correct?
Yes, sir.
By all means.
Cool. I'm going to invoke my new title that just mysteriously appeared once, due to a random legend increase, an expert shot, or an expert marksman, and spend a legend for scale if you don't mind.
By all means.
I guess
Excellent.
this is as good of a time to use it than any. I'll go ahead and use the doubling perk thing for this scene.
Ooh, yes.
Excellent.
So we have a total expenditure of 6 momentum, correct?
Yep. Thank you,
You're
Martin. Six. Puts me at... So that puts me at 11 for the shot.
11 for the shot.
I got 10 material successes.
10 material successes. So, the shot. Math is
And
hard.
then there's that plus. Yeah.
For invoking my path, do I get +3 on that?
2.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe it is +3. I'll deal with that. I'll look it up in between.
Gotcha.
So what is the total successes for your roll, Charles?
13.
Okay. So that is a margin of 8 for you, Charles. Gregor, that is a margin of 5.
Cool. Devote it all to damage.
Understood. So,
Which I believe it's 3 to do damage, yeah?
it is over the...
First
Already-
one is over armor.
Yeah, over the armor. Already took that into account. So you have 5 to play with. You can deal with you can deal critical, and then it'd be 4 successes to to deal said critical, and then
3. That's 3, Bob. 3 successes
that's
because of me.
correct, because of-
War Center is active.
because of Gideon. So it'll be 3, yes, to deal a critical.
All right, I'll deal a crit. And then I want to say how much is the... Yeah, no, I'll deal a crit, and then yeah. No, that's it.
Understood. Charles?
8 successes. I'd like to deal 2 criticals. And then can I invoke a Twist of Fate?
Yes. What would you like for your Twist of Fate? Since you invoked your path.
The water pipes under the building suddenly ruptured.
I like it. To what effect, Charles? You just want some water in this area?
A year.
Excellent. So, what you guys see is Manspeaker take some damage from Charles's sword swing, and the shot ring out, piercing through his shoulder. There is blood splatter. You can see in this moment, it is bright crimson red blood. There is a cry out of pain. You can hear small, muffled bursts from underneath Carnegie Hall. And I'm going to move you guys over to Roll20, because we do, in fact, have a map for this.
Awesome.
The map.
And with that being said as well, I require everyone to roll initiative.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Positive. Fix that momentum on this screen here. All right. So. And 3. Just a reminder, for any of you guys who need a refresher on rolling initiative, it's your best combat skill plus your cunning. So, let's see. Taking some note down. Majin, what's the result of your roll?
5.
Excellent. Thalis.
1.
1. Gideon.
3.
And Gregor.
2.
And Charles.
Four.
We really just got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
Indeed, you did. So,
Oh, Manspeaker.
It's amazing. It's the same combination of my luggage.
at this moment, you guys may choose to swap initiative. It's entirely up to you.
Did any of you want to? I'm okay to go earlier if anybody wants to.
As of right now, we have Majin, Manspeaker and Charles, Gideon, Gregor, and Thalis. Is everyone okay with that initiative order, or do you guys want to swap some numbers?
I'm fine. I don't mind going after Manspeaker. Kind of want to see what this chump's gonna do.
I'm good with it.
Everyone good? All right, excellent. So, to start us off, Majin, you're up, man. I'll zoom in. This is where you guys currently are on the on the map.
Are you lying to me? I don't think you've moved us yet. You haven't moved me anywhere.
You guys should be in the center on the hallway.
I just see.
Don't
I just
see
see
the
picture still.
map.
Yeah, same.
Up, 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 up. You're right. There we go. Boom. I fixed it.
Imagine that.
This is Carnegie Hall. Enjoy.
No, it's. Oh my god, it is.
That's a long distance.
It is. Carnegie Hall is a large place.
Yep.
How many range bands is that from? Like 2?
That would be so we have 2 or 3. I believe this would be technically considered long range. Let me double check.
Long
How
range
big
is over 100 meters. Medium range is 31 to 100 meters. I would say probably medium range. Because,
Yeah, it's like 2 range bands, right?
yeah, it's like 2 range bands because it's like 200 feet divided by 3. What is that? That's
We're gonna go ahead and say 2 range bands.
yeah.
Answer gold.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Which is plenty big, but
Yeah, I'm gonna use a knack called Size Them Up on them. Once per session, I may look at a single antagonist and immediately know their qualities, flares, and what abilities constitute their pulls.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use that on Man Speaker.
Understood. Is there any
just analyze the boss.
Is there any sort of dice pool that you need to roll on that, or do you just know things?
From the look of it, I just know things.
Understood. If you would kindly recite verbatim for just the power itself. Because this is a new ability, correct?
I got it a couple sessions ago, but it's an immortal knack called Size Them Up of the Warrior calling. It says this isn't your first rodeo. Once per session, you may look at a single antagonist and immediately know their qualities, flares, and what physical abilities constitute their primary pool.
Understood. So, this is a little bit different. Antagonist stat blocks usually are just kind of like SPC stat blocks. For this incarnation, he has been built as a character. So I will be reading you a list of shit. You may, of course, feel free to take notes if you so choose. So you would know qualities, flares, and abilities constitute their dice pools. Looking at Manspeaker, you can see very clearly there's this ability has some issues latching on, which leads you to believe that there's some obscuring effects in place here already. Likely either the trickery calling or a corruption thereof. Along with that, you know, of course, having dealt with previous incarnations and previous extensions, that it is the leader calling is in effect. The ability to lead individuals and coerce them into action, along with corruption. As for purviews, you can see sort of emanating from specific parts of the body. There is you can see essence of war purview. You can tell that this individual has the dominion over some of the skies. You can tell that this individual is also heavily tied with death. Of course, there's the strange eldritch sign that indicate arcane calculus. And there's something that is missing that is at his hip that feels like it should be there, and he may just pull something from his side at any moment. This leads to sort of a deception, a trick of the eyes with the deception purview. You know what you are dealing with is an individual stacked with abilities. You get sort of this godlike insight that you'll be dealing with mental prison from the deception, a mythos ability, a mythos boon from the deception purview, your fault from the death purview, labyrinth from the deception purview, bolt from the blue, which is part of the sky purview, and flight, which is part of the sky purview.
And you said flights?
I did.
Yeah.
All right. And like as like this is going on, like I just go into a trance and I'm just spouting this shit off like a fucking computer. All right. Uh, as I pull the trigger and shoot at him. Yeah.
I'm not used to him chanting in English.
Go ahead and give me that roll. Of course, he will be taking a defensive action.
Mm. Five.
Five. In response, he's rolled 4 successes. He's going to use the defensive action dive to cover, which is at difficulty 1. In response to a ranged attack, you may move up to 1 range band away to reach cover established in the field. Cover utilized by the stun absorbs injuries as hard armor. So he is going to make a move.
Would he have to disengage from me?
Up to 1 range band. He is... So you are actually right up on him. I'm going to move you back right there. With that being said, that's going to help increase difficulty. He's going to have to use 3 of his successes, it looks like, for this, with difficulty 1. With the difficulty of 1 standing. 1 range band. I'm going to just move him right here, behind just one of the corners of the stage. Charles, still relatively within your range. You can easily get to him with a movement action. But you being right up on him does indeed increase difficulty. So he has 1 success left on his defense. He can't really do anything with it. And that is... you can, of course, allocate the damage to whatever structure is near him if you so choose. The piano where he has shot. It's entirely up to you.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Sorry, there's something. I have the piercing tag. Sorry, there's a lie you said. But did you say anything about armor?
He's got hard armor.
He's essentially dove behind a structure that gives him hard armor. So you can allocate damage to said structure if you so choose.
Okay. So I don't know if this would constitute it, but it says because I have the piercing tag, the weapon pierced through protective layers of armor, reducing a target's harm armor value by 1. So I don't know if that has any sway in that.
Under normal circumstances, if he was wearing said armor, yes, but this is seeing as he is diving behind cover, absorbs injuries as hard armor. I'm going to, with 5, a margin of 1. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to deal damage to him this round, unfortunately.
Okay.
With the
That's...
hard armor tag, basically.
That is fair. Well, with that said, it also has the messy tag, which describes blowing apart cover, leaving a distinct trail of messiness. So,
excellent. Would you like to do so?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm just
this weapon does
freehand this and just say that this is sort of fucked. One more shot, then that thing will just come down. That partition, that little barrier, will be a giant, massive hole, and will no longer subsist as cover for him.
Amazing.
Is that so? Charles, you see Manspeaker sort of rush to cover, diving, and You guys see the shot ring out past the seats of the grand hall, and colliding with the stage itself, creating a very large dent and fracturing wood and stone and concrete. Manspeaker is seemingly again injured from what you guys already experienced. And is that your turn, Majin? That is a simple action. You have a reflexive if you'd like to take. You can also take movement.
Oh, I do have. Well, wouldn't using the knack earlier be my reflexive action?
Is the speed of the knack reflexive? I believe it. Actually,
Oh.
I believe it is. I believe you still have movement. Let me double check. I want to say yes. Yeah. So you can use
Okay.
multiple reflexive actions. It's just a matter of. So this is kind of what we talked about. It's a loosey-goosey system. You have multiple reflexive
Yeah.
actions. It's just a matter of how much we feel like you'd be able to manage in a turn.
Okay, well then, shit. I think I have something I want to use. That says it's God damn it, words. Okay, imbuing a legend for unerring flight. Then, I probably should have done this beforehand, but I thought that, yeah, I fucked up. But it's a reflexive action. In your precise hands, ranged weapons has become extraordinarily deadly. You make a ranged attack against an enemy in your line of sight, even out of to extreme range. You can roll the attack and dexterity in place of another normal attribute. Yeah. You can use this boon to attack an enemy behind full cover.
Sounds like you can make a second attack right now.
The attack would be a simple action. So he's already you get one simple action
Yep.
per round. So
Okay.
it is prepped for next round though. I will keep that in mind.
Cool. That'll be my turn.
Excellent. That brings us to Manspeaker. Actually, because there usually are ties to this, because Manspeaker and Charles rolled the same initiative. Let's call it a roll-off, shall we? Or would you guys prefer to just take a stat and base it off who has the higher? It's entirely up to you guys.
I'd say leave it to Charles.
Honestly, I think it would make more sense if it was based off the movement dice.
I like it. So, what are your movement dice?
My movement dice is 10.
So, his movement dice is physical. Okay. Not going to matter. 8. So you'll be going up first, Charles.
Cool. I would like to make a ranged attack against him with my sword. I'm going to use its thrown tag to eat it at him.
To yeet it at him. By all means.
Yes.
As strange as this is with the throne tag, I believe this constitutes firearms.
Or athletics.
Athletics?
Or athletics. Yeah, I can see athletics. Go ahead and choose whichever you.
Range.
Yeah. No, this makes sense. This athletic makes sense. Your choice.
Well, yeah, the book says range.
I would
Throw
like
in
to use-
athletics.
Say again.
I would like to use athletics and might.
By all means.
Fantastic. I got 3 successes. Would that be a failed roll?
Let's find out. That indeed would be a failed roll.
That should be another
Cool. I would
momentum,
like to utilize my knack skill. I can't, you say, where I may re-roll a failed roll.
By all means.
Does that still count as a failed roll for the purposes of regaining momentum?
It does, and it's already been added. You guys are at 5 momentum for those of you guys tracking. Charles, kindly detail. I can't you say? I believe that you just get a failed roll, and I believe you get enhancement if someone tells you couldn't have done it before. Correct?
Right, so you get a +1 enhancement if the failure was due to a botch, or if the roll was a botch, which it wasn't, sadly. but I get a +2 enhancement on top of that if someone told me not to do it or that I couldn't do it. So at no enhancement, I re-rolled. I got 8 successes.
Understood. You have a margin of 3, given his defense roll, plus his base defense.
Okay, I'd like to take a critical.
By all means. That is going to put Manspeaker in a very bad way.
And then I don't know how you would want to do this, whether it would be, can you only use 1 knack per turn? Like, can I
So
use it
normally,
reflexively in place of movement?
it depends on what the knack is. Again, if there's a tie to it that says it's reflexive or it's a simple action, then that's what we're going to go off of. If it has like a once per scene tag, of course. What you got?
I don't believe we've annotated anything of the sort. It's the knack on my scabbard, the Dragon's Maw, which allows me to teleport to Ryujin no Kiva, the sword.
I would allow that as a reflexive action.
Fantastic.
So
Then I will do such.
So where's the sword, Charles? Where did you stick him?
I would have liked the sword to have sliced past him.
Okay.
And
So
then I would just poof behind him.
excellent. So he is behind cover. This is where you are currently. If you would like to use that as a reflexive action, catch the sword as it is making its way through the air. You are now in front of Manspeaker behind cover as well, for intents and purposes. That is your simple reflexive.
Neato.
Anything else from you, Charles?
No. No, that's it.
Excellent. That does indeed lead us to Manspeaker. He is going to use a reflexive action to imbue an awareness and use a boon. So, Charles, I would love a resolve roll from you. A resolve plus your legend.
Okay. This feels eerily familiar. Is it okay with everyone if I use some momentum?
It's okay with me if you use, say, what, 3, 4? How much do we have? 5 momentum. If it's what I think it is, I'm good with you using. Yeah, I'm good with using, say, all of that if need be. If you're comfortable with that. You think we won't need it for other things?
I'm cool with it. I was thinking using 3 of it, just rounding off my dice pool up to 10.
I think that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
Got my vote.
So everyone's good with that?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, you'll be rolling 5 extra dice with the expenditure of 5 momentum. Charles, by all means, make your roll.
3.
Okie
Yeah,
dokie.
3 momentum.
I'm using 3.
Understood.
I got 4 successes.
Most unfortunate, Charles. Where do you want to be right now?
Where do I want to be? I want to
Yeah.
be here. I want to be helping my friends.
Well, you're doing just that. What happens next, Charles?
I guess Manspeaker, like things that Charles would just want to happen. His deepest desires and wants in the situation at hand would be Manspeaker would just fall over, concussed, and then Ryujin would pop out of like the water sprinkler system and be like, "Hey Charles, I know you had some rough times lately, and it's okay. I forgive you. Let's do our best to work together."
And that's exactly what happens.
Would be Charles' deepest wants. That's
Ryujin emerges from the water and, kind of puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "Hey, buddy, listen, I forgive you. It's not a big deal. I know that guy said that the Long were going to be upset, and, they don't get you like I do, all right? We're in this together, me and you, buddy, all right? Let's You want to kill this guy? You can take care of it and let's get
No,
the fuck out of here.
I want Phil to kill the guy.
Fair enough. All right, man. Well, let's get that taken care of. Unfortunately, with the cover, none of you guys see that Charles is sort of standing catatonic, staring at Manspeaker, who seems to have a smile on his face. Charles, you are locked in a mental prison currently.
Mm-hmm.
That is a reflexive action from the Manspeaker.
So we're up to 3 momentum, right?
Yes. Let me add that back on the tracker. There we go. Next, Manspeaker's gonna move right yeah for a quick moment. And going to attempt another effect here. I believe that this is a simple action. Yeah, I'm going to call this a simple action. Doesn't quite say. However, it makes the most sense. I would like MAJIN. I need a clash of wills from you, sir.
What does that consist of?
So, a clash of wills is going to be basically a your knack skill plus your applicable calling. This is, well, for in his case. So, what are your callings currently?
Warrior, Guardian, and Hunter.
Let's see. I would say roll your Guardian calling plus whatever skill you would like. If you want to make an argument for any other calling, by all means. This is a sort
Warrior
of
calling.
I can see that as well. Yeah, by all
Argument
means.
successful.
Argument successful. By all means, roll your warrior calling with whatever skill you would like. What is the skill you would like to use? This is for information, so you can choose a skill. This is to sort of keep control of yourself and to be master of your own body and to keep yourself
That sounds like
whole.
Firearms.
Firearms? Make an argument.
So, snipers, just like my title states, Eye of the Sniper, we have to instill calmness, hold our breath, meditate right before we pull that trigger, and, it's all about, you can't be an erratic sniper like that. Don't look at me, Charles, just because you're better at bullshitting. All right, your facial expressions is not helping the situation. But regardless, it makes sense, and it does.
Excellent. I like it. It does make sense. It's very well thought out. I like it. By all means, go ahead and give me your roll.
Oh. 7 successes.
7 successes. So, what happens next is you guys see Manspeaker exit, sort of sauntering out of the stage. You can see some of the wounds are starting to slowly heal, not as quick as he would like, I would imagine. But you can see he holds up this stone, and Majin's eyes begin to turn back in their head. Majin, you feel something enter into your mind, as if he is trying to push and take control. You guys see Manspeaker sort of falter for a second, and Majin sort of closes his eyes and snaps back. He's now fully still in control and eyes on the stage. Manspeaker rights himself and then begins to retreat back behind the little partition there. that is, I believe, his turn. I'll let you guys know if he has any reflexives up
Got it.
going. That brings us to Gideon.
How's it going?
Good.
Good. So just so I'm clear, so this chap is in the middle of the stage holding his little dongle out and swaying it in front of Majin's eyes. And Majin's like, I'm not impressed by your dongle. That's what's going on right now.
You just retreated back behind cover.
Yes, he is now back behind cover, though, yes.
I don't care. All right, he's gonna make me do this shit, isn't he? God damn. All right, fine. Let me get the list. All right. I will. We like really want this dude dead, right?
Yes.
All right. So I guess the first thing I will do is activate the instrument of the end. As I am the harbinger of annihilation of all things, I will take my titanic form. Go ahead and do that. All right, there he is. So let's see. So yeah, the armor of the end is now on. Or carapace of the end, rather. Elemental force of Tartarus, skin crack, seeps magma. Very large, very pissed. And I will take a rush action. I'm going to rush Manspeaker.
Horrifying. You have
Um,
control of your token. You, by all means, with a rush action, you could definitely get up there and be up on
So
him.
just so you know, let's go ahead and go through these. So I'm +1 scale for epic dexterity. I will imbue a legend for Heavenly Stride. So I had 3 enhancement on rush actions or any action I take. And I will also, it says once per scene, you may make a feat of scale to enhance any action based on physical speed without having to pay a point of legend. I will get +1 scale from that. All right, this is where it starts, I suppose. +1 scale for Heavenly Stride. Okay. So as I am rushing him, my intent is to grab him. So that is the action that will follow this rush action.
Excellent.
As I do so, I would like to spend a legend to invoke my title.
Understood. Which title is that, Gideon?
That would be the Elemental of Annihilation.
Giving you another scale?
It gives me 2 because I'm at 3 legend now because it rounds up.
Excellent.
So +2 from that. I will gain +1 might scale from World of Glass for no cost. I'll get +2 might scale from my epic strength purview. You may add 2 to the collateral pool. And +1 might from ungodly strength. That's not to scale. That's just to might.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to make a close attack on our buddy Manspeaker here.
Understood. So currently, right now, for anyone who is not tracking, Gideon, you are at 4 scale, which is godlike. You'll
2,
have
3. It should be, well, actually, it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So +7 scale. +7 scale.
Where did I lose the
+1 might scale from World of Glass. +2 might scale
World
from
of
epic
Glass?
strength.
Okay, that's where I
Plus
lost.
+2 for the invoking the title.
Yep.
+1 from epic dexterity.
Yep.
+1 from heavenly stride.
Golden. I didn't count the World of Glass and the epic dexterity. So yeah, you're at Titanic, which is very fitting for this. You have a +16 to your roll for the dramatic scale.
I'm not done.
Not done.
I will also invoke my destroyer path for obvious reasons.
By all means.
For the enhancement. And yeah, I'd like to make my attack now with the what are they called? The adamant fists of Tartarus. I'm going to grab him about the face. You
Go
said was
ahead
it
and-
plus 16 is what you said?
Correct. I'm gonna roll his defense pool just for the shits and giggles. I don't anticipate this is gonna go well for him, but by all means, make your roll.
So I'm at plus 1 might, so 6. $11. All right. So that's plus 11 enhancement. Is that what you're giving? Is that what I'm getting?
You're getting plus 16 enhancement.
16. So that's just enhancement, and that's not like extra dice. Right.
No, it's straight up
16.
just 16. Yeah.
All right. So my other enhancements. Plus 2 from the destroyer path we just did. Plus 6 from the gauntlets. Plus 1 from fire epicenter. Plus 1 from instrument of the end. That is my boon. I will not be using Keeper of Taboos for this. Plus 3 from rush. Plus 1 from unearthly speed. So 16, 18, 22, 24, 25, 26, 7, 20, 29, 30. 31. All right. So my pool plus 31.
Understood. So 31 successes total.
No. That's my
That's
enhancement.
just his enhancement.
Okay.
He hasn't rolled yet.
And you already took my scale difference in, right?
Yes.
Okay. So whatever that happened, what was that roll? There was a 10 in there. Hold on. Okay. 34.
34. So you currently, something I forgot to deal with Majin's attacks and Charles's attacks. He has a little, because of his tier, he has a bonus. Majin, you would know this. He is demigod tier. So he is a little bit harder to hit. So instead of just a standard defense pool of, or a standard defense rating of 1, he has defense rating of 2. So with that being said, he rolled 1 success, so he's got 3 defense compared to your 34 you said?
34 successes, yeah.
So you have 31 successes to play with.
Good. So I will establish a grapple with his face. Which costs me. Well, I overcame his defense, so okay. I will use two to pin him, so he has no defense anymore. So I'm down to 30. And I will use the rest of them to throw him. But I'm not going to throw him. I'm going to throw him at the ground, and I'm not going to let go.
Understood. This is dealing damage, I would imagine.
So in addition, because of my ungodly strength birthright, I can throw things twice as far as I normally could. So I hurl opponent a number of meters equal to my might in any direction. It will be down. So 6 meters. And each success spent after the first increased distance increases the distance by a meter. So I will spend 10.
Understood. And with that damage being dealt,
Well, hold on, I'm not done yet. That's just 10 to move him through the ground.
Understood.
I'll be spending the remaining 20. So I get critical for 2 because I have the war purview and the gauntlets are brutal. So my critical cost is 2.
10 crits.
I will spend 10 for critical as I drive him into and through the ground below that ground. And I'm going to hold on to his leg the whole time. Well, no, I'm holding on to his face. Holding on to his face the whole time. So it's kind of like a slap.
Kind of like an invincible.
In the ground. Yeah, I'm going to drive him into the ground with a throw that I'm not going to let go from.
Understood. So what you guys see, Gideon, if you're complete.
2 more collateral, by the way.
2 more collateral. That was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
So let me add that real quick before I forget. So what you guys see is Gideon rush past these chairs. All right. Obviously, about half of these, I'm just going to scribble. are thrown upwards, ripped from the bolt. They are, well, they were bolted to the floor, and thrown to the sides. Now you guys have a clear space, an open space in that area. Given the nature of Gideon, you can leave as much destruction as you would like. Cover path.
Yeah, it was a move action, so Turning Wake happens.
Excellent.
Read and Thunder happens. So where I end, there's a mound of cover now.
Excellent. So there is a path carved by Gideon of destruction. And you can tell me if that path is incorrect, Gideon.
No,
That
that's
little-
about right. Yeah, it's a rush.
Excellent. So, obviously, the stage, the area where a composer may be directing music and such, is destroyed. All of that you hear. Well, at the first you begin to hear. You hear Gideon grip onto man speaker. You hear a small gasp, and then hear/see as the partition finally comes down. This is now open. Charles is standing in place as Gideon slams him into the ground, creating a small crater, more deep than wide, and that is the end of Manspeaker. Gideon, what you see in your hands is a bloody mess, is a pulp. How deep did you go?
My might plus 10 meters, so 16 meters.
And then double, right?
Then double, yeah. So what is that?
32
32?
meters.
Nice
96
hole.
feet. About 100 feet.
So, excellent. Would you like to kill him, or would you just like to take him out? For clarification purposes.
Well, yeah, they said they wanted him dead. But I feel like what does that much critical stun damage do to him?
It is entirely up to you. You can feel free to choose to try to hold back if you so choose. If not,
Well, no, the weapon has a stun option.
he would be dead if you choose it so. He was already in a fairly bad way.
I will let the damage fall as it will. So they wanted him destroyed. I destroyed him.
Understood. Manspeaker is effectively taken out per the mechanic and the name of the game for the rules. In this moment, you can see Manspeaker is crumbling under your touch.
When my downward momentum stops, I will jump out of the hole. Like I'll hold this corpse or his mass in one hand and propel myself out of the hole with the other one. Actually, I guess I could use what do you call it? The stupid thing that he always uses. Or not Heavenly Stride. It is Heavenly Stride.
Step sideways.
Yeah, I don't think I can step sideways. Can I? I don't think I can. No. Anyway, yeah, I'll get out the hole.
Understood. Notably, Gideon, is that your turn?
Yeah.
Excellent. Notably, Charles is still in his trance. Gregor, you're up.
Did I see him come out of the hole
You saw Gideon come out of the hole. Yes.
with Manspeaker in his hands?
Did you choose
Or
to
what's
do
left
this,
of him?
Gideon?
Yeah, I brought the mass up with me.
He is
I'll
crumbling.
dump it on the stage.
It's crumbling to dust.
Cool. If that's the case, I'll just kind of walk through the destruction.
Go ahead and you may move one range band. If you would like to rush, by all means, you can move up to the stage.
No, if Gideon's got him most look clear. I would say it's clear that he's out, so I'm not in a hurry at this point. At the very least, he's out, if not complete, if not killed.
Understood. Is that your turn, Gregor?
Yeah, I've got nothing else. If he's gone.
I see. I would like you to make a resolve plus legend roll.
Okay. Resolve plus legend. Interesting. 2 10s on this one. That's good. Six.
Gregor, where do you want to be right now?
I don't have anywhere particular I want to be right now.
Hmm.
I mean, I suppose I'm here, but he was just killed. So
What happens next, Gregor?
Thalis takes his place.
Please continue.
That's the end of the plan for as far as this is concerned.
Hmm.
I might poke through his things, but that's really all I got.
You do this. You continue. You verify that he's dead. Thalis takes his place and continues to sway his people in the proper manner. You poke through his items, discovering a fair bit about yourself and a fair bit about the Mythos Pantheon. You move through the world now, and you collect your people, your followers, your cohorts, whatever you wish to call them, the people from the college. The individual from the college who declared to you that if you got in his way, he would kill you, congratulates you on your victory, and lets you know his plan. He's going to subsume and take the King in Yellow's position. And having shown your group's aptitude, he will be joining you. He will aid you in whatever way he can. He will be your double agent. The rest of you see Gregor stop walking and just stare. That brings us to Thalis.
So, our friend MAJIN had mentioned the trickster domain previously. Yeah, he had said that out loud.
Yes, he was spouting off information. Yes.
So here's my question: is essentially I have a suspicion that he might be using something that's in my little bag of tricks.
Mm-hmm.
And given that Gregor stopped, that kind of just more or less confirmed that suspicion. So I guess I'm wondering how I would go forward from here, having this suspicion as to what just happened here.
Do you have anything that may cut through illusions, lies, things like that may reveal the truth?
Not, I don't personally. And the only reason why I was asking that was because the certain nature of how he did this particular trick is very specific. So that's why I was asking.
Mm-hmm. You can so it wouldn't necessarily be meta for you to assume this. You can with the information that Majin spouted off, you certainly would have a decent amount of information, so by all means. And I realize I did spout off quite a bit of information, so if you guys would like me to review either his purviews, his boons, his knacks, things like that, feel free to ask.
So the one in particular that I'm thinking is the smoke and mirrors knack.
Mm.
Yeah, which I mean, if you're okay with me elaborating on that a little bit, or if you'd rather me keep it secret, then I can. But
I would love for you to elaborate. State your
so
hypothesis.
So my hypothesis here is that he's using the smoke and mirrors knack, which states that once per scene when you would be taken out, you instead spend momentum, negate the damage that would have taken you out, and move one range band away from your attacker, leaving behind a brief after image of your outline, which crumbles into dust seconds later. Since this is specifically crumbling into dust after he would have been killed. And that is something in my bag of tricks.
I would say that you,
that
having seen
needs to be
Gideon pull up the mask that was Manspeaker, and seeing the way it did crumble after the partition had already fallen, you would very clearly be able to make the connections and put two and two together. That indeed he did use smoke and mirrors.
See. Okay. Would I be able to take a glance around the room, see where he might have ended up? Because it doesn't say anything in that ability that would make him invisible after the fact.
Correct. So to detail more, I'll give you a roll, but let me detail Carnegie Hall since you guys
Of
are looking
course.
at it as a
Please.
2D printout. These, if you guys are viewing up here, are like opera boxes along the sides here. Those little half circles. Of course, you have the grand hall, which is sort of just a flat seating area. And then, of course, in the back, you have further seating, sort of stands and such. Multi-leveled. Obviously, here are stairs moving up on either side. Doors, obviously the symbol for doorways, for construction and for architecture, for blueprints, things like that. So on and so forth. But what you guys need to deal with basically here, is opera boxes, flat area, grand circle, entrance, stage, and of course backstage and things like that. Stairs up to up into another area as well. But of course, with that being said, you can of course make a cunning roll and whatever you think you need to notice where he may have been hidden.
Okay. Let's. I could see subterfuge, given the fact that he is trying to hide from us.
I like it.
And so I'll go ahead and try that. At 3 successes.
3 successes. I'm gonna go ahead and roll a sort of retroactive stealth check.
Sure.
Being as he's not really didn't really have an opportunity to hide and such like that. He will have a penalty. This is kind of a reflexive action on his own part. So we're gonna go. I like it. How many successes did you take?
I took 3 successes with this.
Okay. So what I will give you, and if you're looking at the map, I will reveal some things. We are up in the top left box. You can see Manspeaker is watching carefully. The smile on his face hasn't quite left. In addition to that, you can see another box on the left side as well.
And those are the. So now there's 2 of them.
Now there's 2 of them.
Okay. So it's not quite listed on here, and I'm still learning these things here. If I was to use a knack that doesn't specify, exactly how long that takes, is that a quicker action? Am I able to use multiple knacks? What is the deal here?
What is the knack you're attempting to use? If there's no like action detailed on it.
Right. So I'm thinking Master of the World, which allows me to define 3 points of enhancements or complications, or a combination of both, to make certain things happen, either for my benefit or their detriment. But also the doppelganger thing, because I don't think any of my copies were specified to be in the room, so I didn't want to just make the assumption that they were.
Mm-hmm. So your doppelganger, I would allow as a reflexive action.
Okay.
Max skill roll with any successes. Let me double check something. Stand by. Feel free to talk
Okay.
amongst yourselves while I verify some things.
So I may not make a copy just yet, but want to at least know how much of my action economy that's going to take up.
When it comes to Nax, it's kind of like how much do we feel it should take up.
Okay.
You got one simple, and then you've got
Multiple
your
reflexive.
movement, and then you've got no limit on reflexives. So
the doppelganger is actually going to be a simple action because it does require a roll mechanically.
Okay.
You can,
Weird. Okay. So I am kind of thinking. I think I'm gonna hold off on the doppelganger thing for now, but I would like to kind of delve into the master of the world bit here. Namely, I'm thinking one enhancement for myself, and then using the other two, one for each one of these. For the enhancement for myself, I was thinking it sure would be nifty if there was some sort of firearm under one of these chairs that had been tucked away.
I like it.
As far as the other two, Gideon is just an absolutely gorgeous force of destruction and has probably caused some unsettling things for the environment here. Namely, what I'm thinking is having some of the stage lights now having rotated to both highlight these two, while also simultaneously, at least partially blinding them in the process, because those stage lights get pretty bright.
Indeed, they do. So,
Mhm.
to detail, under normal circumstances, you wouldn't be able to just place an item with Master of the World. It would just normally grant an enhancement, such as the environment and such. I'll allow you to place a normal, everyday firearm, something that is not like a, enchanted or anything like that. It'll just be a piercing thing in this regard. With the other two, you want one for the lights and one for... Is it both in the lights? Did I misread that?
So I wanted basically a light for each one to shine in their face.
Excellent.
To highlight both of them. Both for my companions, while also blinding these guys.
Excellent. So in the kerfuffle, in the chaos that Gideon has wreaked, the complication for these individuals, plus one complication for each of them, as the lights kind of turned with the sort of shaking of the world, and are now facing the sort of spotlighting them and giving your allies a clear indication of those ones. But yeah.
With my new handy dandy friend that I found, I'd like to open fire on the one closest to me. And just as I do, cute trick, you daft cunt. Too bad I've seen it before.
By all means. I'm going to take a defense. You are at an angle, shooting at an opera box. You sort of are not able to A-blink in this. So
Sure.
there's going to be some armor to overcome as well for cover.
Oh, darn. Dexterity and firearms, I got 0 successes.
Okay, well,
But it should help draw the attention at the very least.
At the very least, absolutely. With that, the shot rings out. You have a full magazine, full magazine. We'll say that I'll give you the first. So whoever was carrying this last ran hot with one in the chamber.
Nice.
You have a firearm, full magazine. You take the shot. It fires the opera box. He kind of takes a step back and kind of leans over again, shakes his head, and then just pulls back a little bit. Is that your turn, Thalis?
Let's see, I do still have the movement, yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay. And with that, I'm just gonna more so, I, I imagine about right there. It's a little bit behind Gregor, but still not the whole way there. But yeah, I'll do that, and that'll be my turn.
Understood. That brings us back up top of the initiative order. Majin.
Mm. So I know that fucking Gregor's basically kind of in a mental prison at this point. And there's two more up on the balconies. Gideon is on stage. Charles nowhere to be seen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Charles can't be seen now that partition's down. Apologies. Charles is
okay.
standing and staring.
Then I don't know. I would like to try to start chanting.
Interesting tactic. Let's see if it pays off. You begin to chant. Charles. There's no mechanic for this. So, I would love a roll from you. I'm going to call this composure, and whatever skill you would need to whatever skill you would need to wake up, to become suddenly aware that something's not right.
Or now all your dreams are just you know, you get hit in the leg by a cart. You stub your toe on a bed frame. Yeah.
I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. That's just a dick move. I'm thinking survival. To be able to wake up in time to not get fucked.
I like it. Go ahead and give me the roll.
Or success.
4 successes. You suddenly become aware of a deep pain, almost to the core of your bone marrow, seizing up. Just the whole muscle tightens along your leg. Where were you when this kicked in, Charles? Where were you in the dream? Where were you in your dream world, in your illusion?
Probably instigating like a intergodly tournament of some sort and beating the fucking brakes off the door.
Indeed. So in the middle of this tournament, kind of slamming Thor into the ground, sort of smashing him into his own hammer. You're unable to lift it, and you take it and just smack his head into it. In the middle of this, your leg seizes up in pain, and you think, how? How did this son of a bitch learn the chant? Suddenly, you are back on the stage, and sort of not doubling over, but just sort of drop to a knee. You're free. Majin, I'll count
I'm
that
never
as
going to thank you for this.
Majin, I'll count that as a reflexive.
Okay. And I guess let me see here. Yeah, I don't think I can do that. Then yeah, I'll just shoot at. Do I have line of sight of either one of them on the balcony?
You have the lights that are pointing at them. The line of sight is a little bit difficult. You do have technically line of sight, but they are behind partial cover, so you may choose to do that which you will.
Yeah, I'll shoot. I'll shoot at one of those. I already have unerring flight imbued, so I would hope. I mean, it says I could use this boon to attack an enemy behind full cover. I would hope that would apply to partial cover.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, cover means nothing to you.
Cool. So then, yeah, yeah, I'll shoot at him for it.
So the one closest to you, correct?
Yeah, sure, yeah, the one to the left.
This guy here.
Sorry, I got the. Yeah, yeah.
Understood.
As I'm doing that, I'll be making my way towards closer, you know, to THALIS and GREGOR. But that was a total of 6 successes.
6 successes. He rolled 1. He's going to attempt to use the defense stunt dive to cover. Of course, with your abilities, cover means nothing to you. So he has a defense pool of 2 that you need to overcome. So that is 4 successes you get to play with.
And how much is a critical? 1 success?
Be critical would be getting correct me if
Or
I'm
3
wrong.
successes?
It's just
3 successes.
3 for your allies, 2 for you, correct? Getters. Gideon.
That's what he said earlier.
Yes.
Excellent. So 3 successes for a crit, and then yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 for me. Well, 3. No, it's 3 for them.
Yeah.
Yes. War. Yeah. War.
Yeah. I'll apply a crit. Yeah, a crit to him. As well, he should be knocked prone. I don't know if that would, maybe knock him over the edge a bit. I don't, it's whatever, but yeah. But yeah, he should be knocked prone as well, given the pushing tag.
So the shot rings out. Your bullet strikes true, destroying the cover, leaving just a simple flat platform, and he is obliterated.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's my turn.
Excellent. That brings us up to Charles.
There's only one of them?
Only one, yes.
Neat. Fantastic. Glad to hear that. Let's see. What range would you say that would be?
That's 1 rage band.
Fantastic. I'm going to throw my sword at him.
Okay. Go ahead and give me the roll.
I'm thinking athletics and might again.
By all means.
There. 5 successes.
So 5 successes, unfortunately, is not going to do it. He, oh, that's a 10. I could re-roll that just for the shits and giggles. 3.
Mm-hmm.
So with the 5 defense on the defense pool plus the cover, not going to do it. Sword strikes true, into the cover, if that's what you would.
And we has momentum.
You guys has momentum. Let me add the 4th momentum.
Woo.
Neato. I will go ahead and yeah. Can I just run to him?
Yeah, you can. If you would like to run up there, you also have a reflexive action you can use. If you want to use your teleportation ability, you can be dangling from the sword, hanging onto it. It's up to you.
I'll just go ahead and run over to him with my epic dexterity.
Okay. You rush up the stairs.
And yes, sir. That'll be that. I don't have any reflective actions to do unless I could reflexively utilize a flash flood.
What is
where my sword's stuck in the cover.
What's the flash flood say for action type?
Oh, okay. Disregard, as I was.
Understood. Is that your turn?
Disregard. Yes.
That leads us to Manspeaker, who is going to use a simple action and split himself in two. So, Charles, now you are up there with in the opera box with two Manspeakers. One of them is going to move and one of them is going to imbue an awareness for flight and move hither to the separate opera box. The other is going to look to you, Charles. Oh, I've got too much to play with now. I should not have doubled. Okay. So the one that, we'll start with the one that flew. The one that flew is going to, I need a reflexive roll, or a resolve plus legend roll from you, MAJIN. So let's take care of that first.
A what?
A resolve plus your legend.
So, quick question. Do any of his duplicates have fake mustaches?
Negative.
Pathetic. He's gonna copy me. He can at least do it right.
Six successes.
Understood. I believe ties go to defender.
That would be me.
That would be you. So you feel a haze fall over you, and you quickly shrug it off. That is simple action. Excellent. Simple action reflexive. Cool. That guy's over here, still hovering just a little bit over the opera box. This guy here is going to hold out this stone toward Gideon. Gideon, I require a roll from you, good sir.
What roll? What kind of roll is it?
This is going to be a clash of wills. So this is going to be whatever your choose a skill to resist some outside influence.
Okay.
And then what are your callings currently?
My callings are Monster, Primeval, and Destroyer.
Excellent. I can't make an argument for any of those, so I'm going to leave it up to you. Which one would you like to use, and if you would kindly detail...
Monster, of course. I will not be tamed by one of these chumps. And as soon as I feel the impulse, I would like to immediately go into... I would like to invoke my Monstrous Urge condition.
What's that do? Please detail that.
Well, the funny thing about it is it kind of works to my detriment, but any task that requires logic, calm consideration, or restraint is at +3 complication. So why don't you go ahead and try to control? We'll see how it goes.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm?
This is not. I'm gonna say this is not applicable here. This is not. It doesn't fall under that effect. I'm afraid.
Okay, I'm still going to do it,
Okay.
and I will still use my my monstrous calling so as to resist, being whammied. Do you guys mind if I spend some momentum on this roll?
Well,
Go for it.
How much do we have?
You guys have 4.
I would like to spend at least 3 of it.
By all means.
Sure.
And I'll be using my
Okay.
close combat skill to oppose, as I want to rip him to shreds.
Fair enough.
Fuck. 2 successes.
Oh shit. Some 10s. Let me reroll.
It's a shitty roll. My goodness.
That is.
And he's rerolling 10s.
That is going to be 5 successes.
Okay.
Gideon.
Yes.
So, for the purpose of this, in this moment, you. So let me detail from the perspective of Charles. Charles, you see, Man Speaker drop. He collapses. Gideon, you
Yeah.
are under the suffering of. You are suffering from mind control. Man Speaker is in your body. He is in full control of your faculties. I am not going to wrest control of your character sheet or your character from you. I am going to ask you, however, to act as if you are Man Speaker in Gideon's body. Use your abilities as you see fit, with the complete knowledge that your friends are now your enemies, and you're going to try to kill them.
We're in danger.
Okay.
Charles, again, Man Speaker is collapsed in front of you. That is the Man Speaker's turn. That brings us to shit. That brings us to Gideon.
So the question is, like, do I get any say in, like, trying to break this?
Allow me to detail what.
And would Manspeaker take Gideon's turn, or would Manspeaker just use Gideon on his turn?
This is going to be Gideon's turn, so this will be. I gotta swap those when I get a chance. This will be.
I just want to understand the effect I'm under.
Yeah, allow me to read this to you. Mind control. Engage in a clash of wills with the target and take control of her body for a scene if successful. The user's own body falls inert, and he can no longer feel it or control it in any way. The user may take control of any form of living being the size of a mouse or larger, though attempts to control animals or beings who are very small, very large, or very different from humans, such as an octopus, may incur 1 to 3 complications determined by the story guide. Those who make use of this ability take over other humans may find themselves shunned or viewed as equivalent to, I'm not saying that word, removing another person's control over body is a serious matter.
Right, but like, so how do I break it? Is it just a condition?
This is not detailed on how it is broken. This is for the scene.
We're in danger.
We gotta change the scene, guys.
Yeah, I don't. Then I'm gonna say you go ahead and take control of the character, because like I can't do anything. Because honestly, like, if he's not a slave to my urges and my body is out of control, like I can't control it. I can't make good plans and like be logical. So like I don't really know what the options are here.
I'll be absolutely honest. I would feel more comfortable with you making the roles and the abilities and such, as I don't know your character sheet that well. If that's okay with you.
I guess.
Neither does Man Speaker, one could argue.
So,
Kill us, Gideon.
well, okay. So what's the situation here? There's. All right. So I guess I will rush. Whoever's in the center there.
You got Gregor,
I
Thalis.
will rush. I rush Thalis.
Understood.
I'm going to attempt to obliterate Thalis's face.
Thanks.
And I will use the shockwave to hit the rest of them.
Real quick, you used all 4 momentum last roll.
I use
Three.
I use 3 of 4.
Copy that. You guys resulted in a failure, so that you guys are at 2 momentum currently. We have gone past our normal break time. Does anyone need a break?
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
All right, let's keep going.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going to.
So I
I'm going
imagine you need something from me, considering
to,
this is my face.
well, don't you? Don't I have to like overcome a bunch of stuff to even to attack you because you're a non-combatant?
I'm a non-combatant to you.
Yeah.
So there's that. I did shoot at Manspeaker, but I'm a non-combatant to Gideon.
Well, I don't know right now. So
Fair. Da-da-da. Yeah. So, story guide. How do you want us to go about doing this? What does he have to overcome in order to be able to grab my face?
What do you got for your defensives? I know that you are.
I've got not a fighter.
Detail.
So when I'm engaged in a fight, as long as I do not make attacks, enemies will not target you directly with their attacks. Additionally, +1 enhancements to disengage and withdrawal rolls, provided that I have a partner or followers present. In this instance, I'm prior to this moment, was not a combatant to Gideon. So
Yeah, I would say.
So I just wouldn't target him.
I would say a clash of wills, based off of the abilities and such, because
Okay.
I believe. Yeah, continue, please.
I mean, I can't target him. I'll just hit the ground here.
That's fine. That's
yeah,
fine as well.
yeah. If I can't be targeted directly, but the area around me and the people around me are still fair game. So
Yeah, I will say as well, because you were possessed by Manspeaker, Charles is up by Manspeaker's body. Do with that what you will.
okay.
Charles is up there. These guys are closer.
Fair enough.
So how do I smash the ground and shockwave them?
What would you like to use for said
Uh,
shockwave?
Probably might in close combat because I'm smashing the ground.
By all means, let's do
Gideon
some
smash.
might in close combat. Get the shockwave tag.
So I lost a bunch of scale, but I still have +1, well, +2 from epic strength, +1 for epic dex. He can't use heavenly stride, so I'm at +3 scale.
Understood.
And I guess I'm going to make my attack. So 11 plus 6, 7, 8. 8.
So 8 successes plus the.
No. That's my enhancement.
Understood.
So it's 10 successes.
10 successes with the shockwave tag. Everyone in that range band, so that would be Gregor and MAJIN. Thalis, I believe you have some abilities that if you are not, if like you can with the chaos purview,
I
correct?
have the chaos purview. Yes.
So you are unaffected, I believe.
It says from random, taking no harm from random or haphazard dangers such as debris in a tornado, freak trap, guys. or being trampled by shoplifters on or shoplifters by shoppers on Black Friday. Does not protect from damage that results from an action performed with the intent to cause harm, like gunfire in a shootout or environmental situations.
So with a shockwave
Yes.
tag, you are not targeted with this. So you're weird situation. You are not being targeted. This is striking at the ground with a shockwave tag. This will hit everybody, including you, in the range band.
Right.
This is intended to cause harm in the entirety of the range band. It's kind of like, think of it D&D terms. It's a AOE effect.
Right.
Whereas if you had the sorcerer's ability to not be targeted. So that is 10 successes. Everyone may feel free to make a defense or a full defense. If you make a full defense, you will use your simple action for the round.
Okay.
Entirely up to you guys.
I'm not here right now.
That is unfortunate.
I assume that means I don't try to defend from this.
That's correct.
Okay, so if we were just trying to, say, defend normally,
You would take you can either rely on your defensive, your base defense, which would be I believe your highest resilience attribute.
Okay.
Or you can add that to a, let me pull it up so I don't misquote some things. Basics. Attacking. Defending. There we go. So, this character's standard defense is 1. In response to an attack, the player may reflexively roll the highest of her resilience attributes without any skills. Apply the successes on the roll to generate defensive stunts. So you may roll your highest resilience attribute.
See. Okay. And this is just the regular, not the full defense?
Yes, this is just the regular. If you want to take a full defense, you can double spend your action in the round to take a full defense. Do this, roll double the character's defense pool. Each success increases the difficulty required to inflict injury, so on and so forth.
See. Freezing on me here. There we go. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and just do the regular defense. So just gonna roll my stamina there.
Understood.
Whenever it decides to cooperate with me.
Copy that. Majin, what are you taking? A full defense or a regular defense?
Oh, regular defense.
Understood.
Three successes.
3 successes.
0.
0. Jesus Christ. All right.
I'm in danger.
Gideon, you have 10 successes to play with. You may allocate damage as you see fit.
Yeah, they'll all be criticals, so I'll deal 5 criticals to everybody in range.
Understood. So, everybody. So 5 crits. I believe that criticals take up two injury conditions.
Yes. Well, no, it takes me 2 successes for each.
Okay. So with 10, Majin has a 3, so you track and all. So this is technically a mixed action. I see what you're getting at. Allocate this among the 3 targets.
That's not how Shockwave works.
Say again.
That's not how Shockwave works.
Kindly detail Shockwave.
This tag is reserved for weapons large scale.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, you're right.
All targets in the same range band.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
So everyone's gonna be taking 5. I believe Majin with your defense, taking a little bit less. Correct.
Only if they have magma resistance.
Rough.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Majin, do you have that? Okay.
No.
Excellent. So a critical deal strikes off 2 injury conditions. Let me know if that leads you guys to taking out.
That was just an injury condition.
Say again?
I think isn't critical just an extra injury because you get 1 for free at their armor, and then it's like you pay 2. Well, you pay whatever for 1 extra right? Damage condition.
So well, critical deals 2 injury condition. That's an extra injury. So it would deal 2.
I think it's just an extra past the first one. Because the first one you get, right, it's not like 2 per. It's you get 1 for you get 1 at their armor, and that's a regular injury. And then to get more out of it, you pay for criticals. And then each critical is another one on top of the first one.
Correct.
That
correct.
was my understanding.
Deal an additional injury condition to your target. Yeah. No, you're correct. Apologies.
That should be 5 going around.
So that should be 5 to everybody.
So that's
5 injury conditions.
okay.
So
let me see, because
how many injury condition boxes do you have? You should have.
I've got 3 bruised, 1 injured, 1 maimed, and then taken out.
Okay, so you are fully down to maimed.
Okay.
If you have not reached your taken out box yet, basically 1 more injury condition, you will be taken out. Majin, what do you got?
Understood.
Yeah, I guess it would be the same. Maimed.
Excellent. We'll get to what that means very shortly, Gregor.
I had 4 health boxes. I dead.
Okay, you're taken out, not dead. Excellent. So, with maimed is you are injured. It is injury condition maimed. You have obviously some complications to your rolls regarding your physical capabilities and such. So, with that being said, you're going to have some, whenever we make a roll, we'll deal with the complication. I believe at base it's +3 complication. I could be wrong. I believe it might be +4. Yeah, it's a -4 to your stuff. So, yeah, you have -4 to your dice pools for physical actions, given that it is physical injuries.
Understood.
Gideon, is there anything else? That was a simple action, correct?
No, that was a rush action. So
Rush
that was
action.
everything.
Understood. Nothing else, Gideon, then?
Nope.
Brings us to Gregor, who is in a mental prison. And after that brings us to Thalis.
Right.
Does he sorry,
Go ahead.
but big ass shockwave next to Gregor. I imagine divots. He's probably knocked prone and shit. Would that not cause something to stir for Gregor?
Well, so we've used mental prison before, and I'm gonna say right now the way we've used it is the way it is currently written. No, it lasts for a scene, just like Gideon's thing. Given some what you guys are doing right now, with the pain for Charles and such, having knocked him out of it, I will say you guys have a chance now to rework this. Would you guys like an opportunity to have this, just the shockwave, knock him out of this? I will say as well, this will be the ruling going forward.
No, don't do that. That's a bad idea.
What say all of you?
I would like this to be something that we discuss after this session. These were the
Yeah.
rules as written going into it. This is something we've been faced with during the session. Any issues we have from it, we should discuss after the session as a group.
Fair.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. As a caveat as well, I'll say as well, one of your allies does have this ability as well, so take that into account. Is everyone okay with discussing after the session then?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Sure.
Excellent. We will continue. That is up to Thalis then.
So yeah, my question here is: does this shockwave push us back at all, or is it not one of the effects of this? Just making sure I'm positioned correctly here.
I believe.
I don't think I have push. Let me double check. It is no, just shockwave and messy and a bunch of other stuff. Or aggravated.
Yeah. So this is
Yeah, it's not. It's not. There's no push attached to it though.
yeah. So as much as it looks like you should be pushed back, you are not.
I see. So I saw something here, and this is one of those things where it's like, I don't know if this is going to work, but figured I'm just going to throw it out there. And see if perhaps there's a way I could essentially override the thing that's controlling him by invoking my legendary title and using it on Gideon.
Excellent.
So
What
this
is your
one-
legendary title?
This one that I'm looking at is the Seducer of Suppressed Passions. In this
Seduce.
context, he's probably pretty peeved that he didn't get the chance to actually rip Manspeaker apart. So more or less, I want to refocus that ire at its appropriate target by using this ability
Mm-hmm.
and away from us. Because another one of those shockwaves and this fight's over.
In a very similar situation, this lasts for a scene, and he's not being puppeted. Or rather, he is being puppeted. He's not. He's fully like possessed. It's not puppeteering mind control. He's fully possessed. That's Manspeaker in there.
Manspeaker in there. Okay, so that's
Gideon ain't in there right now.
Gideon's not home right now. Okay. I wasn't sure if this would be one of those things where it's like, kind of call him and get him to come back from the grocery store a little early.
Well, again, that's much similar to mental prison. This lasts for a scene, and it can be discussed whether or not you guys would like an opportunity to break it.
I got you. So I wasn't sure if if there's like a hierarchy to the things, if the legendary title trumps the knack, as it were. So
I would say
that's a little bit of a different discussion from the other thing we were talking about, from breaking it and damage cells.
Full clarification: Majin did not detail this in his ramblings whenever he assessed Manspeaker, meaning that this is not a knack or a boon or a purview. This is coming from an outside source.
Copy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. So if that's not gonna work for this bit, let me see what else I got. Feels What is the thinking? I believe that's a short match. Actually, so quick question here. And I'm not really sure how this would apply here. I was kind of talking about it, but I think you were away from the computer prior to the stream. I do have a new boon that I've not had the chance to use yet. It's called No Masters. You strip a character of their authority over others. This suppresses any positive attitudes or bonds that any other characters within long range has towards the target based on any kind of political, social, or economic authority he holds over them for the duration of the scene. Negative emotions are unaffected. Employees may lose all loyalty, but they have to their boss, but they'll still carry the resentment from long hours or shitty wages. And fun fact, using this on trivial characters is free. That doesn't really apply here. I don't know if that would really have any play here. You're muted.
This is an immortal knack, and what is it called again?
This is actually a boon called No Masters. Page 244 of Scion Hero.
No Masters.
Yeah. It would use my simple action, but it has a medium range, so.
So he could target Manspeaker.
I could.
The body.
Since he's using his powers to essentially kind of push his authority over us, could see an argument for that.
Towards the target based on any kind of political, social, or economic authority he holds over them.
I don't know if this falls under any of those domains, though.
I don't believe it does.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to fuck you guys over on this. So if you guys have some arguments to be made, by all means.
No, if it doesn't work that way, then it doesn't work that way, and I'm okay with that. I'm just asking because I wasn't sure if it did.
What say the rest of you?
I would say no.
Okay. Now, got one other thing here. Now, this may not
Before we move on, Gideon, Gregor, Charles,
Oh,
would you guys
yes,
like to weigh
sorry.
in?
Nope.
No, it doesn't. No, it seems very specific.
Happy.
Continue, Thalis.
Now, there is one other thing that I have used before, but not on people, which at the very least may help us out a little bit, because if he's puppeting, I'm thinking more target the head, and then hopefully disrupt the rest from there. Maybe not breaking it per se, but I'm looking at overwhelming chaos here, which I think I only used this on a truck before, but machine's gears or a person's mind get overloaded with concentrated entropy. Targeted character must struggle simply to maintain coherent thought. Each turn, if they wish to take an action, must combine it with stamina plus athletics at difficulty 2. And then the rest is on machines and things about like trivial characters, which doesn't really apply here. That one is a short range, so I would probably have to get a little bit closer. But is that something that would be a little bit more feasible in this situation?
I believe so.
Okay. Then in that case, I'm gonna make my way. I think with where I'm sitting right now, that's about medium range.
You're one range band away. You'll be just fine.
Oh, okay. So that falls. So I can do it from right here. Okay. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Let's see. Oh. Okay, so I thought that this was going to be like the No Masters one where there's a clash. In that case, manipulation legend versus composure and legend. For this one, it just happens. The difficulty from it comes if he tries to do other things.
Understood. A target can must roll.
The more you know.
Awesome. Yeah, this will.
Yeah.
You're targeting man speaker, or you're targeting man speaker, correct?
I'm gonna target man speaker with this one. Yes.
Okay. So again, I don't want to fuck you guys over on this. I'm gonna allow you some time to communicate. To choose your target. Charles is up there with him. He saw what happened with him, but
okay.
Feel free to yell, communicate, do what you guys got to do.
Okay. Did Charles hit that one? Was I able to see that?
Charles moved through the sword.
Since it collapsed.
Yeah, not since he got it. He basically got up there and was readying a strike, not necessarily hitting him yet.
I see.
It's the Inozuka mind swap from Naruto, man. Like, the body is vacant.
Is that one up there? Is that the real one, or is that the real one?
How the fuck should I know?
Great question.
Cool.
I'm just gonna kill them both.
So with that brief interaction, Thalis, you would know that this would need to be targeted at Gideon, as if with the pop culture reference, the body is collapsed, his mind is not present. He's in Gideon, so you would need to target Gideon with this.
You know, there's not many times that I can unironically say thanks to the weeaboo culture. But I'm going to go ahead and do that now and use that ability here, the boon, Overwhelming Chaos. Imbuing one legend, and then it lasts for the remainder of the scene. You're muted.
Understood, and this is going to grant some complications to Gideon, aka Manspeaker, combining a stamina plus athletics roll at difficulty 2 anytime they need to take an action. Understood.
Cool. And with that, I would like to put some distance between myself and the unstoppable death machine.
Yeah, wise, absolutely.
Yeah. So, do I need to do anything because I know disengaging is a thing here.
Yes. So disengage is a
I can't target him.
Yeah, correct. So you'll be just fine. You can simply move a range band away from him. Thank you, Gideon.
Excellent. There we are. Yeah. I believe that is all that I can do for now because that was my simple action. So I would imagine that I don't have time to fire a shot over at the man speaker copies up there.
I'll say as well, you can move a little bit further. Our full range band is a little bit longer than that. So you were about down here, I believe.
Yes,
yeah.
I was right next to him.
Yeah. So you'll be
Cool. But for clarity's sake, I don't have time in the process to shoot at him, correct?
Was your boon a simple action?
It was.
Then yes.
Oh.
Yeah, anything that
So
would
yes,
require...
I do, or yes, I do not.
Yeah, no, you don't. I apologize. Anything that would normally require a roll would be technically clarified as a simple action. There are some, of course, some outstanding circumstances, but this is not being one of them.
Okay. Then that is all that I have.
Cool. That brings us to the top of the round to Majin, but I think that this is going to be a perfect opportunity to take a quick break for bathroom, for tech, all that good stuff, tech and bio and all that good stuff. We will see you guys very, very, very shortly. See you soon. Welcome back. We are at the top of the turn order. This will be up to Majin. Our heroes are in the midst of battle with Manspeaker, aka an incarnation of the King in Yellow. Majin, you are up.
How much momentum do we have?
Currently sitting at 2.
All right. Gregor's out, right? Charles is up there. Gideon is big bad. Where's Thalis?
I started moving back, so the opposite way from the stage.
Oh, you son of a
where I was
bitch!
before.
You run everything. God damn it. I'm gonna cast. I'm gonna spend a momentum and cast, or using that they cannot be touched. Which, let me see here. You're not you don't have any warrior callings. You're not a fighter or anything like that, right?
What do you mean?
Thalis.
No. So for the callings, I've got Lover, Trickster, and Sage.
Okay. So but I spend 1 momentum to designate this person is immune to all sorts of damage until the end of the session. So yeah, you won't go past your 4 damage wherever you're at now.
For me, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then
Thank you.
reflexive, the biggest threat on Gideon.
Okay.
Says on his success, the target must focus its efforts on dealing with me first. Suffering 2 difficulty to attack anyone else.
Understood.
We haven't ever rolled it before. See, when you make a show of force to intimidate your enemy, make a next skill roll. Okay, so on the next skill roll, they have to, on a success, they have to deal with me first, or suffer a +2 difficulty.
Copy that. What skill would you like to use for this?
Firearms.
Make an argument for it.
I cock the hammer back as a way of intimidating Gideon into dealing with me first and hopefully chasing me of some sort. Yeah.
I like
also want to say this. The sun's getting real low, big guy. And I cocked the hammer back. Trying to use the snack.
Understood. Go ahead and make the roll.
Seven successes.
7 successes.
I don't know what I have to beat. What you would roll to beat it, but
Yeah, I'm checking that now. Doesn't say there's no detail on a Clash of Wills or anything like that. There's also no detail on a dice pool to roll against. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the DC. I'm gonna say that's a success. Is everyone fine with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
So biggest threat is active, suffering a +2 difficulty to attack anyone aside from Majin. What else you got from Majin?
I guess momentum or movement. I want to try to get the fuck out of Carnegie Hall, wherever the fuck we are. I'm trying to kite Gideon away from everybody else, basically. THALIS should be good.
Yep.
Yeah, because you're immune now.
Yep.
Okay, understood. Yeah.
How far can I make it
You can
before he pounds on me like a fucking leopard?
You'll be making 1 range band. So about just past THALIS. About if you would like me to move you, I can. But about here.
Oh, that doesn't sound. He fucking jumped that, and god damn it.
Well,
give me
He's
1
a
second.
monster.
You can do a yeah, you would be able to make it basically to the grand circle. I would allow you to get to the door.
Wherever I'll go. I'm just trying to get out of here.
I'll pop you right
And
over
hopefully
here.
bring him along.
I'm gonna pop you right over here. Out of sight, but a very clear path being cut to out of this space.
While running though, can I take a shot?
By all means. Actually, I'm sorry. Activation of the knack having caused the roll would technically be a simple action.
Yeah, you're right. All right. Never mind. I'll run. Or limp.
Is that your turn? Is there anything else you'd like to do reflexively?
Nah, I think I'm okay. Yeah. That's all I got right now.
Understood. That brings us to Charles. Charles, you're up. Manspeaker is collapsed. Collapsed in front of you. Unconscious. Or absent.
Cool. I would like to make a complex action, if that is okay.
By all means, what would you like to do for said complex action?
I would like to crush the stone and then throw my bowkin at the Manspeaker copy, while using the returning tag on my sword to draw it back to my hand and prepare a strike on Manspeaker.
Okay. Yeah, that is all
So
feasible.
not following through with the strike, but just preparing.
Understood. That is feasible. By all means, let's have the roll. This is a mixed action.
Okay. So I would like to use do I need to make a roll for destroying the stone, or
You're striking with your sword?
no.
Okay.
I would be basically crushing it beneath my heel, and then I would throw the scabbard at the clone as the simple action part of the complex action, and then using the returning tag of my sword to pull to my hand to prepare a strike.
Okay, what are your purviews?
My purviews are epic dexterity, epic strength, beast, and Tianming.
Yeah, no. So You make no roll necessary to stomp the stone, essentially.
Fantastic.
Just the complex action roll or the mixed action roll for the chucking of the scabbard and the readying of the strike.
Okay. I would like to use athletics and might for my my attack and the readying.
By all means, yeah. Sorry.
I got 8 successes. Divvied up. I'm thinking 2 successes to like use the tag to draw the blade to me, and then 6 successes for the scabbard strike.
So the scabbard strike. With this, you overcoming 4 points of armor, basically four successes on his part. What is allocating damage and things like that with the mixed action can get a little bit dicey. So rolling the smaller pool. What was the successes?
I had 8 total. I was going to utilize 2 to draw the blade to me, and then 6 to like use for the attack.
Okay, so you can use 2,
leaving me 2 successes.
So you can use 2 for the attack, and then still use 2 to draw the sword back to you. Is that acceptable? Understood. So
yes.
With that being said, you chuck the scabbard. It strikes true, sailing past 3 different opera boxes, striking him in the temple and dissipating him.
If it's cool with you, I marked where I'd put the sword originally. I don't know how to get rid of the marks. I apologize for that. But I would like to mark where the scabbard ends up as well, since it also has the returning tag.
By all means, I'll plop down a scabbard there. Oh, that'll work just fine.
Yeah. Perfect. All right.
You crush the stone.
With the strike and everything.
Continue, I apologize.
No, I was just saying that concludes my actions.
Excellent. You crush the stone. Man Speaker begins to stir once more. Gideon, you are free of control and back into your full faculties. With that being the end of your turn, that brings us to Man Speaker. Man Speaker is up, Charles. You have the sword drawn back up to you. That is not. He is going to pull from his side, seemingly out of nothing, a similar weapon, a sword of his own. He is going to make a strike at you with said sword. You can, of course, feel free to make a defensive action if you so choose.
A year.
That is 3 successes. 5 on your defense?
Yes, sir.
All right. You parry with your sword, I believe, correct? What does it look like?
Could I disarm him instead?
You absolutely can. Let's take a look at the disarm. the disarm action or the disarm defense stunt. What you got for me, Charles? You kindly read aloud.
Yeah, let me pull up my downloaded book real quick and read that out to you.
Actually, I'm sorry. You would not be able to disarm. That is an attack stunt.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, I'll just take a parry.
Okay.
I'm
Defensive.
okay with just not getting hit.
Excellent. That is his action and his reflexive. Movement is not feasible in this moment. That will bring us to Gideon.
Hi.
We missed
Well,
you.
here's this. I have a real big problem with being contained. So I will spend a legend to invoke yet another title.
Which title is that, Gideon?
I am the harbinger of entropic upheaval, which seems to be going well considering the chaos that is surrounding me from whatever Thalis did.
Understood. What is the effect you're hoping to gain?
Scale. We're going for +2 scale.
Copy.
Because I'm going to leap from where I am to the sword fighting duo. And I am going to attempt to disarm Manspeaker, literally.
Oh.
I love
Understood.
it.
What a blessing.
He is fully engaged. He will not be able to make a defense. He'll be going off his base.
That's cool. Is it worth yeah, I will imbue since, well, the other imbue is gone now. So I will imbue a legend for Heavenly Stride again. As I think you can qualify this as a rush action, right?
I would certainly say so.
Okay. So I will rush Manspeaker. And I'm just going to grab him from behind and twist him around until his arms come off.
Okay.
At this point, with the monstrous urges, Gideon is he's just a monster right now. There's no semblance of reason or logic or tactic, really.
Understood. What is so disarm stunt?
Well, it's gonna be, well, no, I'm just ripping his arms off.
Yeah, track and all.
Yeah. So this would be a close combat attack, but it's a rush action. So let's do the math again. So this time, +2 might from +2 scale from epic strength, +2 from titles, that's 4, +1 from epic dexterity, +1 from heavenly stride. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's +6 scale. And for enhancement, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I have 13. 13 enhancement. So what is that? 6? I said +6 scale plus 13, yeah.
Yes.
Where does that put me scale wise for him as far as
You
any
are
additional?
going to sit at. Sorry. You're sitting currently at plus scale difference, +8 scale difference.
+8
As in-
enhancement on top.
Yes, sorry, yeah, +8 enhancement with the scale difference.
Right. And as I roll up behind him, I will whisper into his ear, "This is not a dress rehearsal. This is the real thing." And with 25 successes,
Jesus
Uh,
fucking Christ.
all of those will be criticals, and I will tear him limb from limb until there's nothing left.
Understood. Describe, if you would kindly, with the
And that's +4 collateral, by the way.
copy that. Oh shit. Well, we're gonna be rolling some collateral very soon here. 1, 2.
What do we
3.
get?
So we were at 7 collateral. That does put us over. So we're gonna have you roll 10
Oh.
dice.
Why wouldn't it be 11? There's 11, right? Since
Yes,
I have
but the
grievous collateral damage. If it's unresolved, I immediately roll it.
yes.
So
So you'll be rolling 10 dice because that is the max of the pool. Whatever makes it go over isn't necessarily rolled. It's just the that's the tracker. Once it reaches the end, it's
only one.
rough.
Does it get added to the new collateral total?
It does not.
Neat.
So with 1 success on the collateral, well, we'll get to that very shortly. Gideon, if you would kindly describe what Charles sees. I mean, this is right in front of him. You detailed that Gideon is more monster than anything at this point.
So yes, Gideon grabs onto Manspeaker from behind, hoists him overhead, grabs an arm and a leg first, and begins peeling him apart. When the first 2 limbs come off, he will hold him by the torso, extract the others, bite down on his lower jaw, rip half of his face off, tear his insides vertically, probably pitch his entrails across the grand hall, and then slam the body like onto the balcony where we are, like driving it into the ground, and then kind of shredding it much like one would boiled chicken, and just kind of tossing the bits like confetti and red paste until there's nothing left.
Understood. As you slam into the opera box, the result of the collateral being only 1 success, we're gonna do raise equal to size. So basically, the opera box is just gonna collapse, or you guys are gonna fall through it. With that being said, it's not gonna really affect Gideon much, nor I believe it's gonna be affect Charles, as you guys as Charles has dexterity. Yeah. Let me eliminate collateral. That is I'll say in this moment as well. Gregor, you've been taken out. You are unconscious, bleeding heavily, but your faculties are once again your own. And that takes us out of initiative order.
Faculties are my own, but I'm not there. Cool.
Just out of curiosity, as far as so the way the urge works, resolution, I can either withdraw to a place of safety where I have time to collect my thoughts, or commit a heinous act of rage. But it says that I'll regret when I snap out of it. I don't know if I'm going to regret this one.
Okay. And that's the result of your daring man speaker part.
That's monstrous. That's monstrous urges.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have plus momentum, by the way.
Maybe
Oh, nice.
maybe
Because
your
it-
character's guilt could be harnessed in like that your body was used to attack your allies.
Almost lost my cool there.
I know it was
I
part of
I
their
already committed that
monstrous
act of rage.
We can deal with what guilt you might feel, or so on and so forth after the fact. But
It's more embarrassment than anything else, which is what invoked the urge in the first place.
fair enough. That is that again. That's outside of initiative order. You guys are scattered. One of you is very injured. Majin, I would say that you heard the kerfuffle and the screams of someone who was not your friends as they were being torn
I
apart.
peek in. I'm like, did it work? Oh shit!
Did
Nah,
what work? What did you do?
Yeah, it worked, and I nonchalantly
You said a
walk
one-liner and
in.
you turned and ran.
Yeah, everything according to plan.
Shut the why?
So getting over there, am I able to find any recognizable parts of Manspeaker? I mean, I'm assuming he's the red squishy bits, but how like is there like
His arms and legs are
Okay.
all whole and just strewn about the room,
okay?
as is his lower jaw and top part of his head.
Yeah, it really
Oh,
depends on where you walk.
I'd like to more or less find his face because really that's like the most him part of him that I could imagine.
Everything but his lower jaw.
Everything but okay. So I could cool. So as far as like the parts that remain on his face, I just want to take the gun and unload the rest of the clip into the remainder of his face because he fucked up a perfectly good suit.
It's a little childish.
Eh, You know what? He fucked up a perfectly good suit, and like, look at this. It's not even salvageable. And
It looks better now.
I'm
if
just
you're
gonna
asking
toss
me,
the gun
honestly.
aside.
Understood.
I appreciate that, Charles. I
Uh,
really do.
Once
I'm
again,
gonna make sure. I'm gonna give him
You're
a bag of pocket sand later.
Gregor
You're a
is
blessing.
unconscious, bleeding.
Yeah, I made my way to him.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get Gregor.
Oh, you over here playing with fucking face
I had-
flesh.
I had to fucking get rid of the rest of the bullets. I couldn't
You-
just let them go to waste.
Could have sold him.
I could have. But this was a lot more satisfying, and I didn't need the money.
How
I
do
feel like I need to do
save
something.
Gregor?
Muted.
Said you want to save Gregor.
Yeah, how do I wake him up?
With a kiss.
You can kind of he's in a bad way. He can be woken up. He is still very injured. He can be woken up and he could possibly walk for himself. He's going to need bandages around his torso. And
So I just slap him.
I mean, you can
Wake up. Yeah, I slap him
You slap
until he
Gregor.
wakes up.
Gregor, you wake up. There's your whole body aches. Everything is in pain. The slap is just the cherry on the top of the whole cake.
Stop.
You
What
up?
happened?
We won.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. Cool. Everything hurts. I assume I was in a prison, considering last thing I remember was taking over Uruguay.
I assume. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So Peru's still around? Sit up.
Who?
Peru.
You know what?
Yes.
With what I'm hearing, you deserve that.
That was your doing.
Me?
Yes.
I wouldn't take over Peru.
No, you sank it into the ocean.
I would do that to California. Come on, Gregor, get with the program. Anyways, I have a dragon I need to go call.
Yeah,
I'll be
at this-
right back, guys.
Gideon will
Okay.
stand up from the mess. Still somehow remarkably pristine, thanks to the Cloak of Winter, which stainlessly helps him walk away from the pool of mush that remains.
You
Um,
doing all right, big guy? You almost lost your cool there.
Gideon is going to pull his hood up and walk out to the Unbound.
You find outside a gathering of a to say a large amount of people is an understatement. New York is full of the Unbound. It is there in every crack and crevice and alleyway that you can find in New York. It is a massive gathering of individuals.
Still kind of like concealing his identity, he will just kind of look over them and where's Donnie?
Donnie is assisting some of the individuals some of the Thalises that were left in gathering up the unconscious bodies of the
Security guards and stuff.
correct.
We have wrested control from the puppeteers this day. I have you to thank. So with that, I will spend a legend to perform a marvel.
What marvel is that?
I would like to find among them those who are suffering from a so it's kind of actually I'm going to compel them as well. So I'm going to compel my fate binding for the imperiled condition for the unbound. And then I would like to determine which of them are imperiled due to something out of their control, either an oppressive force or an illness.
Understood. Is there anything in specific you're hoping to find or target?
Yeah, I'm going to resolve that condition for them.
Okay.
By spending a point of legend.
Understood.
With using the marvel.
Understood. You feel the condition resolve. The group of individuals suffering from maybe not necessarily a shared ailment or a shared condition, but you gather that a number of them have been absolved of a certain issue that they've been dealing with.
Remember one another. Go.
With a wave of your gauntlet, the unbound sort of look to one another, and there's a sense of unity as they depart. Some of them group up and others drift near other congregations, but they depart from this space.
Yeah, just hang out with Donnie and the guards.
Understood.
Cool. In which case, I'm gonna take the guys inside still, assuming Charles didn't run off to the pier.
No, Charles didn't run anywhere. He was giving you guys a heads up because he's using his returning tag to bring his scabbard over to his sword. He's going to imbue a legend to use Flash Flood and summon Ryujin here.
Please don't do that. Don't do that in Carnegie Hall. We're on an island. We are on an island.
We don't have to worry about cameras anymore, right?
We're also on an island. Don't summon a dragon in here.
Ah, fine, whatever. Okay. All
Give,
right,
give
I'll
us
get
a
Chim
moment.
Chim and I will sprint with epic dexterity to. I think when I looked at the map, it was a block away. There's a pond just right outside the doors.
We're also on an island. You will find water eventually.
Understood. Charles, you sprint.
I don't need eventually. I need in the next 9 minutes.
You sprint out of Carnegie Hall, intent on finding a body of water.
All right, Thalis, we need to do the rest of the plan. You need to take his place. Let's see if he has any.
Where's his
Let's see his itinerary. Did he have that on his body? not knowing that his body is giblets, I ask.
That's gonna be a bit of a problem. He's kind of all over the place at the moment.
All right, let's see if we can find his room and see if we can't get his itinerary so we know where he should be and all that, or his prepared speech for tonight, so you aren't.
Yeah.
I don't imagine it's gonna be fixed, but you're gonna want that just in case people question you. You're
Might be
there.
a little easier to find one of the me's that isn't all fucked up to at least wear the hat for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna stumble, try to find his stateroom or whatever.
You know, I was gonna try offer to refund their tickets, but I want to make this guy look like more of an asshole, so I don't think I'm gonna do that.
Oh, quick question. Could you roll the strength of the fate binding plus my legend, please?
for the
Be
Unbound,
five. Be 5 total, yeah. For the compel, so
Understood.
that I can get my milestones on.
Yeah. That is one.
All right.
Success.
Slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. That's a 10, so still one success.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Majin.
Imagine you want to go with Charles or no? Sorry.
Majin,
ask him
what are you
if
up to?
I guess I'll walk outside with other people or something.
You find Gideon on the Unbound dispersing. You find Donnie sort of tending to the knocked out guards, and you quickly see Charles sprinting out of Carnegie Hall as well. With our Scions victorious, this is where we'll end today's session of Scion Godsend. We thank you very much for joining. We will get XP and all that such sorted very shortly. I'm sorry, Charles. We have 5 minutes left, and we got to be off the off channel. I'm very sorry. We will be taking next week off. Also, this is actually kind of like I said, we're going to be our finale for our mid-season finale for the holidays. So next week, the following week, and the week after that will be I'm MIA. I'm getting glared at due to holiday reasons and all that good stuff. We hope you guys have good ones as well. Christmas, New Year's, all the stuff you celebrate. But yeah, we'll be returning in the new year, 2023. I'm looking very much forward to it. And of course, before I begin spouting off nonsense, does anyone have anything to plug?
I don't exist.
No. The thing that I have to plug gets covered in you spouting your nonsense. So.
Okay, I shall spout my nonsense. We of
Yeah,
course.
I do wholesome art things. You can follow me at Juriata_art on Twitter, and I can ignore you there too.
Oh my god. Thank you, Charles. We of course have been the Rolling Nomads, found on right here for Scion Godsend, twitch.tv/theonyxpath every Sunday, except for again for the next three weeks. For Scion Godsend at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. 2 hours after this for our channel, twitch.tv/Rolling Nomads. You can find us playing D&D, Cold and Twitch's Wit, ran by our illustrious Dungeon Master, David, and that is at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time every Sunday. As well, we are moving back to Mondays for our gaming streams, twitch.tv/Rolling Nomads at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time over on twitch.tv/Rolling Nomads. Gaming stream is just kind of what we feel that week. To be honest, we haven't decided what we're doing tomorrow either, so we'll get there. Best way to keep up to date with us. Yeah, that's it so far. Best way to keep up to date with us, our scheduling, all that good stuff, is on our Twitter, which is @_Rolling Nomads. That's the best way to keep up to date with our new scheduling, late starts, cancellations, vacation times, all the good stuff. As well as Hive Social when it comes back. We are at Rolling Nomads. The same announcements that Twitter gets, Hive Social gets. One day we will eventually transition off of Twitter, but for the time being, we're on both. And of course, you can find these episodes of Scion, Godsend, and Cold and Twitch's Wit up or on YouTube. And of course, Book of Saints, the Arsabat Chronicle will be up there as well. The remaining of the episodes will be uploaded in the weeks to come. That is us on YouTube, us on Twitch, and us on Twitter. Last minute, anything else from anybody?
Nope.
No,
Excellent.
I think you covered it.
Then we appreciate, of course, your guys' time, your viewership, all that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys after the holidays. See you guys in 2023. Same time, same place, same science. We'll see you then.